I went to a haunted house yesterday. Or at least a haunted house experience.
Oh, wait, yeah, because it was Sydney's birthday, right?
Yeah, it was Sydney's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Huh?
What was it called?
I can't remember what it was called. It was...
Scaredy House.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. But Sydney was like, I've wanted to go to this haunted house. It's been made by... and this is like my husband listening skills coming along. It was made by some guy who was famous for doing some ghost stories in Japan. And I was like, okay, honey, we can go.
Inagawa Junji, maybe?
if it was Junji Ito... And
No, not Junji Ito.
Okay. Yeah. I would know.
There's another famous Junji called Inagawa Junji.
Okay,
he's like a Japanese like TV presenter who like got famous because he told like a bunch of like really scary stories and he's like a really good narrator or something or other. Yeah. And I think if I remember correctly, he also like did like a side gig where he like produced haunted houses or something like that.
This is my mental bookmark to talk about the Junji Ito anime after you're done, after you're done telling the story.
All right, we can talk about that afterwards. But we went to Tokyo Dome, and because there's like a whole kind of like amusement park there, and we'd never really. I heard that there was a lot of things to do at Tokyo Dome, but I never had gone there to explore everything there is to do around there. The only thing I know about it is that it was one of the places that that guy took Chizuru in Rent a Girlfriend, and I was just like, that's all I knew about it. So all I knew about it was the Ferris wheel.
God, you're one of those people.
Yes, okay, Joey, I'm one of those people. Okay.
Oh, I know this place. It was in anime.
It was in Rent a Girlfriend. Oh my god,
it's just like real life.
Yeah, but they had recently opened a haunted house experience there, and I don't know. You guys like kind of haunted house
I did
guys?
a video recently where I went to
one of the biggest ones, right?
Yeah, I think it's the I can't remember because I was like, it's the biggest, and they were like, actually, it's the second biggest. Please don't say that in the video. I think it's like the second biggest one in Japan, and it was like a 40-50 minute long.
Oh shit!
Haunted house.
Fucking hell!
Yeah, mine one was like
3 floors of a hospital.
Jesus Christ!
Okay,
yeah,
I got to take Sydney there because this one I went to in Tokyo Dome was only about like 10-15 minutes, and it was I'm not really okay. I'm gonna say outright. I'm a fucking pussy. Okay,
to join the club.
I just hate the feeling of being scared, and I've never understood.
Talk to the choir.
I've never understood people who just love horror movies. They just go to horror movies. They love being scared.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like two feelings. I love the feeling of being unsettled. Like that's why I love Junji Ito works. But I hate the feeling of just feeling jump scared or like someone's going to kill me.
Yeah.
I love ideas that make my mind unsettled, but I hate just the fight or flight reaction.
Feeling, right?
Just the direct horror feeling.
Yeah.
And that's basically everything I experience in a haunted house. I was that guy who would hate going to any haunted house. The only reason I went to this one was because it was Sydney's birthday. I was trying to be a good husband.
That's a good husband, right?
Under any other circumstance, I ain't going into this shit. And
so paint the scene. Like what kind of like theme was it?
How do they scare you?
So it was kind of like The Grudge kind of thing. So they had did yours have like an entire storyline as well?
I think it did.
Okay, so this was
did he listen to it? Probably not.
The cutscene.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I kind of like wasn't paying too much attention to the cutscene myself, but the kind of the basic premise was there was this couple and the guy cheated on the girl. Okay. And obviously the girl was mad, so I believe that even though the guy cheated on the girl, he worked with his side hoe to just murder the bitch. And
he came back
and buried them. And they did a 5 IQ move. They buried them underneath a kotatsu. And I don't know why you would bury. I don't know why you would bury the girl in your own fucking room.
It's 5. It's like negative.
I know Japanese houses have like small backyards, but I'm pretty sure it's still big enough to bury a body.
Yeah, right. And so obviously they got cursed, and they
wow.
Yeah. Obviously,
what a shocker.
They got cursed, and to remove the curse, I believe the girl that he cheated on with. No matter what she did, she had half her face was like burnt off with a curse or something like that, and you had to apply makeup to the girl to remove her curse, and that was setting the scene. That was the that was kind of like the final objective.
Like crayon, you gotta like what do you? You gotta do this.
Collect the mascara.
Yeah. So you have to like, there was some makeup, and you had to like puff like the girl's face with makeup to remove
you
the
look
curse.
gorgeous.
Oh, you look good. You look good. So yeah, that was the basic premise of the haunted house. I've never done a Japanese haunted house experience before because my experience with haunted houses were kind of like just in like America or the UK, you kind of either sit on a cart or you kind of just walk through, and it's not really any storyline. It's just kind of like, here are some jump scares. Here's a bat that flies out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know? So I did enjoy the fact that there was this entire narrative that they kind of took you through from like the beginning of like, you saw the entire murder kind of like take place. You saw them hide the body, and then kind of like the entire process of the girl coming out, haunting them, and then also like kind of like killing them. And so the entire house becomes slowly more and more haunted as it goes along. What I did like about it was that there weren't too many jump scares. There was like 2 jump scares out in the entire thing, and it was like kind of like the entire floor was just booked out, and every room had a different piece of the storyline. And halfway through, you know, you find the girl, which is obviously just a mannequin of the girl, and you have to pamper her face with the makeup. And I was just like, I've seen this movie before. Sydney, you do it. You do it, Sydney. I'm gonna die if I do it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be that dude that dies. I ain't going near that face.
Yeah.
I was expecting like the biggest kind of jump scare when you like touch her face. I think that was a fake out, because actually I don't want to spoil too much, I guess, but actually like that wasn't where the jump scare was, because I was like shitting myself, being like, I was like, when Sydney touches the face, something's gonna fucking happen. Something's gonna fucking happen.
Loud noise or something.
Loud noise, something, but nothing. And because there wasn't a jump scare, I don't know if that was worse or better, you know, because you know when you expect a jump scare and it doesn't happen, that's like it there's a part of your emotion that's just like something's off here. It's gonna come later. But one thing I noticed is that everyone working in this haunted house just was so friendly and had the biggest smile on their faces. And I could kind of see why afterwards, because of the biggest jump scare. So most of this haunted house was made with animatronics, right? Most of the characters and the ghosts were just different animatronics, and it was like,
yeah, it's kind of not that scary.
It's
kind of janky.
Yeah.
I mean, I should have known when I saw the ride, and it was like, anyone 6 and over can come into this haunted house. And I was like, if it's suitable for a 6-year-old, how bad could it be? But there was one moment where it did involve, I guess, a real person. Okay. Right? And I guess this person's job was just to come out of this one point of the haunted house and just scare the shit out of people. And I'm like, honestly, that sounds like a really fun fucking job. Yeah. Right?
You're basically just Sully from Monsters Inc. Yeah. That's literally like your like
fill up the scare tag.
Someone watched that movie, was like, damn, that doesn't sound like
that
a
was
bad
fun.
job.
Yeah.
That's just pretty good.
Yeah, so like right at the end, you're presented with like this big statue, and it's like, oh, it's just another janky animatronic. Then out of fucking nowhere appears the only human or ghostly thing that you've seen this entire thing, and it scared the shit out of me, because I wasn't expecting a real like human being. Luckily, like, they didn't touch you or they didn't grab you or anything, because I swear to God, I would have punched.
I don't think they grab you.
I think my survival instincts when it comes to it.
I think for everyone's safety, they don't touch you.
I would have like
just get close to you.
Yeah, they got pretty close.
But that's what I like about like, especially like Japanese horror, right? It's because it's like, it's that whole thing of like, you know, not expecting the unexpected, right? Of the whole thing of like, oh, they set it up to be like, there's a jump scare coming up in this particular scene, get ready for it, and then they don't give it to you. Yeah. And then what that leaves you with is this like unsettling feeling of just being on the edge of your seat the entire time, being like, well, fuck, if it's not on the obvious spot, then where the fuck is it? Yeah. Right? And I think that's why, like, as much as I don't like horror movies or like horror games and stuff like that, I fuck with a lot of like Japanese horror, like movies, because they're so good at that. Like that building, that's just like the original Ring movie. Have you seen that one? Yeah. Yeah. Like there's the one scene where they just like, there's this music building up and it's like slowly zooming in, and like horror movie trope.
Yeah.
There's going to be a jump scare at the end of it.
Yeah.
But then there's nothing. And so what that does is that it leaves you hanging and just goes, well, fuck. Now I don't know where the jump scare is, and I'm afraid the entire time, even through scenes where they're just casually talking.
Yeah,
right.
And I feel like, that's what you kind of experienced in that Japanese haunted house. Because I was kind of the same. Like, I've been to like I was dragged into 1 or 2 haunted houses in Australia.
Yeah.
And it's like, here
UK
comes a zombie. Oh, here comes another thing. Oh, here comes something popping out of the closet. Blah, 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 right? It's like, all right.
They're normally like on the back of trucks.
What? Right.
Or they're like the carnival things that are like folded out.
Oh.
So they're like, I don't know how they make it, but like they're like really quick. It's like 6 dudes just shout at you. I could, and I could have just gone home and got that. So
right.
You can get that here.
Yeah.
But the one in Fuji-Q is really good. I think it's like
That's the scariest one, right?
it was insane.
Yeah.
Like I had never been to a haunted house where I thought like every single detail was kind of off the charts.
Is that the one where it's like every 5 minutes there's an emergency exit in case people want to leave?
every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
leaving
shit.
Exit.
Yeah.
Were you scared going through it?
I mean, like the jump scares are kind of scary. I was definitely hamming it up for the camera. Obviously, of course, I'd have to say that. But like, I it's a kind of a boring video if I'm just like kind of casually going through it. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I mean, like you know, there's only like a few ways they can really scare you. I was more like, I was just super impressed with like the detail and also how kind of fucked up it got. Like there's rooms with like dead babies, like torn open. And like bodies like full fucked
Fucking
up.
hell.
And, like, it's
Damn.
Did Kojima produce this?
it's no joke. You go into this one room because it's like an abandoned. I think the story. I said I didn't listen to it because it was in Japanese, and also I was trying to mess with the camera ISO to get it to work.
Yeah.
And also we weren't allowed to film the story. But I mean, the story generally was like some people went to this hospital, it was abandoned, and they went to go see it, and then they got lost in there, and now you're going in again. And like, dude. It was like, I imagine if you like haunted houses, this is probably like the apex of a haunted house. Like this was, like imagine it, like a whole hospital, they just built this building and every single room was insanely well like themed and built. Even like the office rooms were terrifying.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, the dust is off the charts. I'm going to contract something. But like, it was crazy. I mean, if Sydney liked the one in Tokyo, I'm sure she'd love the one in Fuji-Q.
Yeah.
But you do have to book it. I think separate from your ticket and in advance.
Right.
Which is kind of annoying because it's like you get the ticket and then you have to pay another $16 to go into this just the haunted house.
But you said it's like what, like an hour experience, right?
If you're fast, I imagine it can be like 20, 30, but if you're taking a sweet time, I imagine it's like 40.
Better than most theme park rides.
I'd rather take my sweet time, especially in a haunted house experience because, I mean, like...
if you see my video, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I mean, I wouldn't love to, but I'm sure Sydney would. I don't know why she loves horror movies so fucking much.
I swear she's watching a new horror movie every day.
She is.
She watches like dog shit though. She watches like straight to not even DVD, like straight to like Ouya, like,
Straight to VHS.
Like I don't know. Straight to the garbage movie.